Here are 4 reasons why I love investing in real estate, and specifically multifamily real estate. So there are so many different things that you can invest into. Now, specifically with real estate, the cool thing is that it's really easy to make a lot of money. And the reason that it's so easy to make money is that there's not really a scientific breakthrough or anything like that that's required in order for you to be profitable in real estate. It's a very, very simple formula. So reason number 1 is no breakthrough required. And the reason is that in real estate, there's really just a couple factors that contribute to it. Number 1 is inflation, right? Inflation we know is going to keep going up. And so if it continues to go up, guess what's going to happen to the value of the house? The house maintains and contains a certain intrinsic value, and it's always going to be valuable. Nothing changes the value of the house unless something maybe catastrophic happens. Now, if something catastrophic were to happen, your house probably burned down, but you got insurance, right? So if it didn't burn down, it maintains its value. If it didn't get flooded, if it didn't get wiped away by a tornado or a hurricane or anything like that, we're not talking about natural disasters here, but generally speaking, that property maintains some sort of value and it has a replacement cost. And the value of that property is increased when the value of the dollar decreases. So as currency is inflated, as the value of the dollar dwindles, we can literally watch on a chart on how much the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down. And it's very strongly correlated with the real estate market. Let me tell you, the real estate market has, it's been flying for the past few years. And the reason is the devaluation of currency is manipulating that real estate market into continuing to go up and up and up. So it keeps going higher and higher and higher to heights that we've never even seen before. But there's a very logical reason behind all this. The second reason that I love investing into real estate is that it's so easy to collateralize. And so here's what I mean by that. Let's say you go out and you buy a big building. Now, maybe you don't really want to tie up all your money in that building, but you want it to be safe. So let's say it's a $100 million building, right? We could technically just put $100 million cash. And I know not everybody has $100 million, but bear with me here. Let's say we put $100 million into this building. We are protecting our cash, right? And it's a much better spot to put our money into this building instead of just a cash account, because that cash account, it's literally losing money with inflation. So instead of putting it in the bank, we put our money into real estate. We buy this building outright, we buy it cash, great, we're in a good position. So now in this scenario, we have this building which is producing some sort of operating income for us. But let's say 6 months down the line, we're like, okay, you know what? I actually want to invest into this company. My friend launched a company. He's got an amazing thing going. I want to take some of that money out of the real estate project and put it into this company because I believe in what he's doing and I think he's going to do well and I want equity. So now at this point, we can approach the bank. So we take out a loan from the bank and we use this building, this apartment complex or multifamily real estate as collateral for that loan. So hey, if we ever default on our loan, if we don't make payments, if this thing over here fails, we're collateralizing it by this property. And that's super easy to do. It's a very simple process. So we can essentially get maybe 75 LTV or 65 LTV on this building and take out the majority of the cash that we put in. So if we took out a 75 LTV, let's say 65 LTV. So 65% of the value of the building. And keep in mind, because time has progressed, it's likely that this building is worth more than 100 million. It's maybe worth 105 now, maybe 110 million. So we're pulling out more than 65 million because that was 65% of the original value. Now that the value has risen, we're pulling out more than 65 million. Now that we have this money, we can use that to invest into something else. Now we buy up part of our friend's company. Now we invest over here. Now maybe we take that money and we use leverage to buy another building. So instead of us just having 100 million in the bank account, we've leveraged it so many different ways where now we own part of a company, we own this building, we've used that money to actually buy a second building. Now we have all this value that's being created around us. So we found creative ways to use our money. The beauty of real estate is that it's so easy to collateralize to start doing all these other projects. The third reason that I love real estate is because of the leverage aspect. So you can always use leverage in order to buy real estate. And here's what I mean. If you approach the bank and you tell them, hey, there's this apartment building that I want to buy, and it's producing X amount in operating income every single year. That's great. You could have a credit score of 0 and they'll still finance you. You know why? Because they're not financing you, they're financing the deal. And they believe in the deal more than they believe in you because that deal is an active business. It's producing. And that's the beautiful part about multifamily real estate. You could literally go in with an awful credit score, with an awful credit history, with just enough money to get you in the deal. Let's say we're putting 35% down. That's the 65 LTV. We put 35% down. Based on the net operating income of that building, the bank will be willing to finance you. And once they finance you, you are taking control of that asset and you're starting to make money based off of what's going on with the building. So it has nothing to do with you as a person or your ability to repay. It's really just the building and the building's net operating income. And the cool thing about net operating income is that it can be manipulated. You can change what the net operating income is. And what's the easiest way to do that? And no, that's not remodeling the kitchen in every unit. It's actually just raising the rents in every single unit. So now you're getting to a point where your net operating income goes up by 10% in general. Well, guess what? The value of the building just went up 10%. And that's a beautiful deal to be in. You want to get the value of the building up as fast as possible so that you can refinance and pull all of your cash out and move on to the next deal while you still own the original deal. That's why leverage is great with real estate. And the fourth reason that I love investing in real estate is that it's a physical asset. So we invest into so many different things, cryptocurrencies and money markets and all these different things. But the thing about real estate is that it's physical. You can see it, touch it, you can drive down the road and visit it, you can take photos of it, you can walk inside it. Like, it's a physical asset. And that's why it's called real estate, because it's real. It's literally one of the only things in the world that's real. Money isn't real, but real estate is real. So if you're asking me whether I'd rather have money or I'd rather have real estate, I'd much rather have real estate, because real estate is a great way to store your wealth and generate passive income, because you're putting money into something that's physical and that's already producing money, and you can use leverage to acquire it. And so I can take my $3 million and acquire a $10 million asset just because of leverage. So now I literally control $10 million worth of real estate, and I can use that to my advantage, and I can produce passive income based on the $10 million valuation, not the $3 million that I put in. So it's really a beautiful scenario that turns out well if you do it correctly, if you're finding the right deals, if you have the right investors on your team, and you have the right process to pull all of this together. So real estate is one of my personal favorite things to invest in, especially multifamily real estate. There's just so much opportunity there to make a lot of money, and you're really able to change the amount of money that you make quite easily. If you're increasing those rents, if you're increasing that net operating income of the building by becoming more efficient, by hiring better management teams, you can make a lot of money in real estate without having to do much on the front end when it comes to managing these units and improvements and all that stuff. You don't want to be the developer. You don't want to be the person that's doing all the rehab. You want to be the landlord who owns that asset and who's able to control the NOI and generate passive income. Alrighty guys, those are the 4 reasons that I love investing in real estate. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.